Welcome back to Destination Playdate. I am your host, Attack Slug, and this is 10-Day Champion out now on catalog for a price of $6. And the best way to describe it would be a bite-sized, turn-based RPG with heavy time management. Let us start a new game. I finished it once. I unlocked Odessa as the third character. There is your records of your characters, and there also is a lore for each of these individuals. But let's hop in here with Odessa into a new game, and I will show you how 10-Day Champion works. There is an intro, right? But I skipped the long intro that kind of explains how the game works, because that's what I'm here to do here on the video, is to explain how the game works. So, you have 10 days until this tournament, and you must level up and increase all of your stats, gear, etc. to hopefully win in that tournament. And so day one, it is 9 a.m. In the upper left-hand corner, the 1 means day 1. The sun means it's daytime. 9 a.m. is the time. 300 is my gold. And 0 is my SP for upgrading my character. We have action, travel, bag, stat, journal, help, and quit. There is a save function, as each run will take about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on your play style. And so the actions you take in town can be the shop, can be the dojo for getting new skills, can be the inn to rest, and the tavern for the gossip, but it's only open between 1900 and midnight, whereas also the shop and the dojo have different opening and closing times. Important things to keep in mind as you progress. But we will head into the Black Forest at a half an hour on our travel time. And so generally the gameplay loop is this. We head into an area. We choose to either fight an enemy, explore for an event which could lead to a skill, it could lead to an item, it depends. Resting once you are fatigued for 7 hours. And in this area, we can meditate to just gain SP every 2 hours. And you might think, why not just do this the entire 10 days and max out all of your stats? You still need equipment, you still need items, and that costs you some gold. So first and foremost, let's just fight here in this Black Forest. Now, each day you do this, the enemies will increase their levels and their hit points and that kind of thing. It's important to note. So obviously having your own character increase as you progress these days is super critical for winning this game, because you can die in these battles, and if you die, it's game over. Happened to me. So, this boar with 43 hit points, we have in our current skills. Swift Slice costs 4. Sabotage costs 4. Double Slice costs 5, but it's not charged up yet. You see over there with the 0 of 1, this skill's not ready to be used yet. Now, very important, we have 1, 2, 3 skills. You can have a maximum of 7, and anything beyond that is just lost into the ether. So either having them from events you learn, or learning them from the dojo in town, but once you hit 7, that's your cutoff. So with 12 MP to use here, let's try a slice. That does 36, and 1 poison because of my class. And we have 8 left, so we'll do a sabotage, and then we'll do 1 more of the slice, and we'll see what the Bora Bora does here to us. Now, once you've used all of your points and you don't have anything left, and don't have any items to use, the items will not use up your MP. Then you hit end, and then they get their turn and headbutt you for 8 damage, and then that's the end of that. As you progress, certain enemies will have more turns than that, and definitely in the tournament, your foes in that tournament have a lot more turns than you do. It's a rough bit of business. So we continue here with slice, and we have 4, but this costs 5, so let's just do another sabotage here, because why not? Listen all y'all, this is sabotage. So, that being done, we end our turn. Now, importantly, the amount of hits you've taken, your damage on your health bar, only matters for this fight. It does not carry over to the next fight. So, be only concerned with what you're currently doing in your hit points. So, let's do a double slice. And then, 1 more should do it here with this Bora Bora. That is your basics of combat. We get 5 SP, we get 122 gold, and we get an item, which is an orange. And you're wondering, what does that orange do? Well, over here in the bag, it does 30 hit points. Now, also equipment. You can only equip 4 things at one time. And of course, over the coming days, the shop will get better and better equipment. Let us explore the surrounding area. Stumbling upon an unattended backpack. Excitement and caution filled your mind. But the possibility of booby traps concealed in the bag urge you to proceed with care. Now, of course, if I'm that cautious, I could ignore this, but then you're wasting the 3 hours to go and find it, so we're going to open it. I got a mango. All right, sure. Sometimes these events also have fights, and sometimes those fights are pretty hard. Now, keep in mind, the game will tell you when your character is fatigued and need to rest, but at any time you get over here into the stat menu, and it'll say, hey man, 9.5 hours until you are fatigued. So, we will meditate for 2 hours, and then get 10 SP, and then, you know what? One more fight here in this Black Forest. We get a Forest Agar with 32 hit points. Let's start with a Slice, and then a Sabotage, and then a Slice. So, that thankfully gets me down to 0, which is nice. So, no points are left over there. And then we got 6 on that, and then 6 more, and then 6 more. Okay, look, we had the orange just in case we need the orange, so that's fine. Not worried about double slice on the Agar. Swift slice on you down to 10, and then end my turn. Down to 6 now because of the poison. Also to note, the number next to your hit points, that is your shield. And if you have a class that has shields, it's very important. This class, not so much. But it can be very useful in those final fights to have those shields because, of course, like any good RPG, you will lose the shield points before you lose your hit points. So keeping those things in mind is very important. Hit that double slice and then a single slice, and we should be good here with this guy there. And we get our SP gold and some poison ivy. What does the poison ivy do? So, 30 HP, 45 on the mango, and then 6 poison on the poison ivy. Now, as you progress, and as you buy or learn or get skills, trying to get a synergy with what your class can already do is very important. So we have, what, 4.5 hours now until it is time to rest. But I think, right now, I will travel back to town because it's only in the night hours where the tavern is open. So you see here, the dojo, not open until 9 a.m., so can't do anything here at this close to midnight. So, the tavern for a half an hour. What is the gossip? Getting info on the attendees of this upcoming tournament. I overheard a discussion among a group of fighters, and it seemed that Triss would also be in that tournament. With this newfound information, I exited the tavern, all the while leaving either a strategy to outwit this opponent. Sure. Sometimes that gossip will just tell you, alright, what day is the shop gonna have a sale? Let's go to the cave. And over in the cave, we not only have fight, explore, and camp, but also, if you need some cash money, you work for the gold for 2 hours. So that's 250 of gold on that, and then we have in our stat, we have an hour until fatigue. So you know what? One more of those in the mines, getting the gold. And now you see here, next to the clock, it says ZZ Fatigue, which means either you can sleep here in the camp out in the wilderness for 7 hours, or go back to town and pay money to go to the inn. Now you're going to ask, why would you pay money when you can just do it for free out in the wild? Because in town gives you longer that you are fully rested before the fatigue kicks back in. But you know what? I'm already here. Let's do our rest and then hit morning and then go visit the dojo at 9 a.m. So again, time management. Very important to not waste too much time going back and forth or, not doing things very efficiently. And in the town, we hit up the dojo. Now, we either can spend these SP points, where I have 25, on attack, defense, hit points, and magic points, or a trait upgrade, or, like I said, you can have 7 skills in total. And so I can learn a bunch of different skills here for 10 or 5 on the SP. There are quite a few in here, so kind of look through them, peruse, and decide which ones are good for your class and your character and which ones might help you overall. Obviously, having a healing skill like First Aid is a good thing to have, but also there are buffs and debuffs to keep in mind here with your character, like Elusive, and then of course the shop where you can buy and sell. And so of course a variety of potions to go through: Dread, Weakness, Wound, Defense, Wound, Elusive, Damage the enemy, and then Cloak are your first 2 things. So either an old cloak or a simple cloak, and that is part of your gear. So buying the cloak here is now equipped. But again, only 4 pieces of gear you can have at one time. And as the days pass, the shop gets better and better gear. And that is pretty much the gameplay loop of 10-Day Champion. Just kind of do it over and over again until you hit day 10, and then you go fight 3 battles in the Colosseum. Now, the lake does not have a third thing, right? The lake is just the lake. So you only have fight, explore, and camp. So just, you know, if you need money, it's the mines. If you need SP, it's the forest. An old wizard offers you a bag of fairy dust in exchange for your life energy, for your SP. Sure, I got fairy dust. Hooray. And fairy dust resets all of my skills cooldown. That sounds pretty useful for your boy. Anyhow, this is 10-Day Champion out now on catalog, $6. I am your host, Attack Slug. Keep on cranking more videos right here. I'll see you next time, and I'm out.